So students, in our last class under chapter human reproduction, we were discussing about pregnancy and embryonic development. So first, when blastocyst gets attached to endometrium and the layers of endometrium completely covers the blastocyst, then attachment, a strong bonding is formed between the growing embryo and the endometrium. Then what happens? First layer formed will be chorion, and it produces finger-like structures, that is chorionic villi or placental villi. We have already learned, this is just a recap. ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಇದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರೀಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Then the chorion forms a new layer, that is placenta. Okay, placenta is a connection between growing embryo and maternal tissue, mother's tissue. Then placenta, we were discussing this part, if you remember. Placenta acts as a endocrine gland and produces 4 hormones, isn't it? Which are those 4 hormones produced by placenta during pregnancy? That is number 1, HCG, that is human chorionic gonadotrophin. I just told you, human chorionic gonadotrophin is produced in pregnant women after 40 days of pregnancy. So pregnancy strips also works on this hormone only. Okay, if this hormone is present, then only, if this hormone is present in the pregnant women, only then it shows positive result. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ಹೆಂಗಸಿನ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ರಕ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ HCG ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ. Okay, HCG, human chorionic gonadotrophin. Then second hormone is HPL. Okay, that is human placental lactogen. Human placental lactogen. The function of HPL is not given in the textbook, but for neat point of view, if you want to know, I'll tell you. ಅಂದರೆ HPL ನ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೂ ನೀಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಗೆ ನಾವು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಲಿಬೇಕಂತಿದ್ರೆ, HPL is produced by trophoblast cells. You know what is trophoblast? Trophoblast of blastocyst, outer layer. ಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟುಲಾ ಅಥವಾ ಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟೋಸಿಸ್ಟ್ನ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ಲೇಯರ್ ಟ್ರೋಫೋಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸಸ್ HPL ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್, ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸೆಂಟಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೋಜನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ required for increasing the metabolic rate of pregnant women. Metabolic rate means all the processes including digestion. You know that for pregnant women they say she is not eating for one person, she is eating for two persons, because there is a baby, the embryo is growing inside. So food what she normally takes is not enough for both of them. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ವುಮೆನ್ಗೆ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ತಿನ್ನೋದಲ್ಲ, ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ತಿನ್ನೋದು. ಯಾಕೆ? ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಭ್ರೂಣ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಿನ್ನಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಈಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್. ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಈಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್, ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ HPL ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಸ್ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಪವರ್, increases the metabolic rate, so that it gives more and more energy for growth of embryo. Okay, that is not there in the textbook, just I told you. Then estrogen and progesterone function, already you know. Estrogen and progesterone function, already you know. Estrogen maintains endometrium for menstruation. Progesterone prepares the endometrium. It makes endometrium rough and corky, which helps for pregnancy. It helps for blastocyst to attach. ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಅದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, we have already learnt. Then after that, ovary produces a hormone at the end of pregnancy, last 9th month of pregnancy, during delivery. ಅಂದರೆ 9 ತಿಂಗಳು ಮುಗಿದ ನಂತರ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ovary produces hormone just before delivery of the baby, that is called relaxin. We will discuss later when we discuss about delivery. Okay, relaxin hormone produced by ovary. And you should know very important part. Okay, I will highlight here with orange color. HCG hormone, HPL hormone and relaxin hormone. These 3 hormones are produced in female in their lifetime only during pregnancy. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ 3 ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಗಳು ಹೆಣ್ಣಿನ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲೂ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್, these 3 hormones, HCG, HPL and ovary, relaxin, these 3 hormones are produced in the female only during pregnancy, no other time in their lifetime. Okay, now if you ask me whether in the normal female it is produced or not, okay, it is not produced. It is produced only when she is pregnant. Okay, so these 3 hormones are produced only during pregnancy. Okay, then when these hormones are produced in the pregnant women, quantity of other hormones in their body also increases. Okay, what are those other hormones? ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಗಳ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗುವಾಗ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಗಳ ಪ್ರಮಾಣನೂ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ರಕ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೀಸ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್, ಅದರ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಅದರ್ ದೆನ್ ದೀಸ್ in the body, their quantity also increases because it is required for fetal growth, means growth of the embryo, and to increase the metabolic rate of mother and to support pregnancy, for 3 reasons. Okay, what are those other hormones? Other hormones are thyroxine, okay, cortisol. Only name is mentioned in the textbook. For neat point of view, cortisol is a hormone produced by adrenal gland. This is produced only when there is a low glucose level in the blood. ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಡ್ರಿನಲ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂದ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಸೋಲ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಸೋಲ್. ದೆನ್ ಅದರ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದೋಸ್ ಅದರ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್? ದೇರ್ prolactin, thyroxine, estrogen, progesterone, all this. Estrogen, progesterone. Okay, all other hormone quantity also increase. Okay, these hormones are produced only during pregnancy, not all, only tick marked. Okay, HCG, HPL and relaxin. These 3 hormones are produced in the pregnant women only during pregnancy. What about these hormones? These are already there. Always it will be there in the blood of female, but during pregnancy its quantity also increases. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹೆಣ್ಣಿನ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಗಳು, ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಗಳು ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಆದರೆ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ? ಫಾರ್ 3 reasons. Okay, the first reason is for fetal growth. It supports fetal growth. Other hormones quantity also should increase. It helps fetus to grow. Fetal growth means, ಭ್ರೂಣದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಗಳು ಬೇಕು. And second, to increase metabolic rate of mother. Or pregnant women. Okay, because during pregnancy the fetus is growing inside. Fetus growing inside requires more and more energy, so she has to eat more and more, and that more and more what she eats should be digested. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ತಿಂತಾ ಇರೋದಲ್ಲ, ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಮಗುಗೋಸ್ಕರನೂ ತಿಂತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಿನ್ನಬೇಕು. ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಶಿ ಈಟ್ಸ್, ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಶಿ ಶುಡ್ ಈಟ್, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್. She needs more and more energy, so that increases the metabolic rate and it supports pregnancy. And for supporting pregnancy, okay, so these are all things which happens. Then what happens to inner cell mass of trophoblast? Blastocyst has 2 layers. Which are those 2 layers? Do you remember? Number 1, trophoblast. Do you remember blastula structure? Textbook alilla, but it's not there in the textbook, but we discussed. The outer layer which gets attached to endometrium is trophoblast. Then here this is inner cell mass. What this inner cell mass becomes later when embryo starts growing, ಅಂದರೆ ಭ್ರೂಣದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ, the inner cell mass gets divided into 3 parts. Okay, that is outer ectoderm, inner endoderm. You know, ecto means outside, derma means skin. The cells are arranged in outer layer and inner layer. You know, first year you have learned diploblastic, triploblastic body organization. Okay, so cells separate and outer cells are ectoderm and inner cells are endoderm. Slowly one more layer is formed in the middle, that is called mesoderm. So it becomes triploblastic body organization. Then some cells in the inner cell mass are specialized. They are called stem cells. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್? ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಎನಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸೆಲ್ ಆಗೋದಿದ್ರೂ ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲೈಸ್ಡ್. Stem cells can become cells of kidney, cells of heart, cells of liver. All the cells in our body, before getting specialized as kidney cells or heart cells, they will be stem cells. Okay, so stem cells have ability to give rise to any number of or any kind of cells. So stem cells ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ದೇಹದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಆಗೋ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ರೈಸ್ ಟು any kind of cells in our body. Okay, then till now what we have learned is one part, that is pregnancy. Now what we have to learn is embryonic development, how embryo develops month by month till 9 months. What all changes happen in the mother, in the uterus, that we have to learn. ಅಂದರೆ 9 ತಿಂಗಳು ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಯೂಟ್ರಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಗರ್ಭಕೋಶದ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನೇನು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಟು ದ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಇನ್ ದ ಯೂಟ್ರಸ್ ಇನ್ ದೋಸ್ 9 months, that we will learn one by one. Okay, so this is now embryonic development. This is a very interesting concept. Chalk. Okay, during first month of pregnancy, heart is formed in the baby, in the embryo. Heart is formed at the end of first month. ಅಂದರೆ ಮೊದಲನೇ ತಿಂಗಳು ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಆ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಹಾರ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಂತ್ ಆಫ್ embryonic development, heart is formed and heartbeat of the embryo can be heard by using stethoscope. If doctor keeps stethoscope, they can hear heartbeat of that embryo. Okay, so heartbeat can be heard with a stethoscope. Then at the end of second month, limbs and digits will be formed. End of second month of pregnancy, embryo gets limbs, limbs, hands and legs, and digits, fingers. ಅಂದರೆ ಎರಡನೇ ತಿಂಗಳು ಗರ್ಭಕೋಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೈ ಕಾಲು ಮತ್ತು ಬೆರಳುಗಳು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರೈಮಿಸ್ಟರ್. Tri means 3. Trimester means first 3 months, that is first 4 weeks of pregnancy, or in first 3 months, both are same. Okay. Major organs will be formed. Major organs in the 3rd month, okay, embryo in the uterus forms major organs. Major organs means, you know, like heart, kidney. Heart is already formed. Kidney, liver, all these will be formed, and including genital organs. Genital organs means, you know, testis in male and ovary in female. This is formed. Genital organs, reproductive organs. Okay, genital organs are formed. Then 5th month, hairs on the head. 5th month, hairs on the head. ಅಂದರೆ ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ, ಆ ಮಗುವಿನ ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂದಲು ಬರ್ತದೆ. Okay, so hairs will be developed on the head of that fetus. Okay, so then the baby will have hairs on the head. Then first movement of the embryo is observed in 5th month. Movement of embryo means, you know, the embryo starts rolling in the mother's uterus, that she can experience. Okay, sometimes kicking sensation, okay, or pushing sensation will be there for mother. So mother can experience that the baby is alive, the embryo is moving. Okay, ಅಂದರೆ ಮಗು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಥರ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಕಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಥರ, ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಥರ. Okay, that happens in the 5th month. Then what about 6th month of pregnancy? 6th month or 2nd trimester. Trimester means, you know, 3 months. 2 times 3 months is 6 months. 2nd trimester. Okay, in the 6 months of pregnancy, eyelids separate. Eyelids separate means, you know, the eyelids, the ಕಣ್ಣು ಗುಡ್ಡೆ ಎರಡು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಮೂಗು ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, so nose comes in between and eyelids will separate and goes to left and right eye. Okay, then eyelashes will be formed, that is hairs. No, not eyebrows, eyelashes. ಕಣ್ಣಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ರೆಪ್ಪೆಗಳು ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದು. Eyelashes will be formed. Then at the end of 9 month, end of 9th month, okay, fully grown fetus, fully developed fetus. Fully developed fetus means it is ready for delivery. ಅಂದರೆ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಮಗುದು, ಅದು ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಲರ್ನ್? Definitely we are going to learn delivery. Okay, in biology we call delivery of the baby is called parturition. Okay, and mother feeds the baby with the breast milk. ಅಂದರೆ ತಾಯಿ ತನ್ನ ಎದೆ ಹಾಲನ್ನು ಕುಡಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು. That process is called lactation. Lacta means milk. The process of milk feeding or, okay, production of milk in the mammary gland of mother, that is called lactation. So we are going to learn about childbirth and lactation, that is production of milk in the mammary gland. Okay, we are learning about parturition and lactation. The act of giving birth or the process of delivery of the baby is called parturition. In English we call it as delivery, isn't it? Delivery. baby, mother, pregnant women delivers a baby, then it is, the process is called parturition. ನಾವು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಯಾಲಜಿಲಿ parturition. Okay, then how it happens? When fetus is fully grown, okay, in the 9th month, mother, the uterus of the mother should push the baby outside, isn't it? So for that, how signal is generated, how naturally it happens? The fully grown fetus itself sends message to mother's pituitary gland to release some hormones. Okay, so when she reaches 9 months 9 days, then she gets a pain. Okay, delivery pain, what we say, we also call it as labor pain. Okay, labor pain, then she will be taken to hospital, then she will deliver. What if she doesn't get a pain? Then doctors will give injection, that is oxytocin hormone injection, and they bring that pain and they do the delivery. Naturally, what happens, why she gets a pain and how she will deliver the baby? 9 months 9 days, the fully grown fetus, the baby itself sends signals to the mother's pituitary gland, okay, through blood. How it happens, that we are going to learn in NEET class. That is very big story, half an hour I need to explain. It is not there in the textbook, out of syllabus, but we will discuss in NEET class. Okay, so fully grown fetus, the signal for parturition, signal for the delivery will be given by baby only, the fully grown fetus, not mother. Okay, so signal for parturition originates by the fetus. Fully grown fetus only gives signal through blood, then mother's pituitary gland. Mother's pituitary gland is in brain. Mother's, pregnant women's pituitary gland releases hormones. Those hormones are oxytocin hormone. First year you have learnt, last chapter, endocrine glands, chemical coordination and control. Oxytocin is called birth hormone because it helps for delivery, okay, process of giving birth. So mother's pituitary gland releases oxytocin, then oxytocin has its effect on muscles of the uterus. It makes uterus contract. ಅಂದರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಟೋಸಿನ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನು ಗರ್ಭಕೋಶದ ಗೋಡೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಳೆದು ಬಿಡೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಡ್ರ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲೀವ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್. So oxytocin hormone released by mother's pituitary gland makes uterus to contract and relax. When uterus contracts, she gets a pain. Okay, that is called delivery pain or labor pain. So she gets pain, contraction of uterus. Then when uterus starts contracting, it makes pituitary gland to release more and more oxytocin. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ನು ಪಿಟ್ಯೂಟರಿ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಟೋಸಿನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಯೂಟ್ರಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೇಕ್ಸ್ ಮದರ್ಸ್ ಪಿಟ್ಯೂಟರಿ ಟು ರಿಲೀಸ್ more and more oxytocin hormone. So when oxytocin hormone is produced in high quantity or higher quantity, then contraction increases. Increase in contraction. This is very simple. When uterus contracts too much, okay, it tries to remove something from there. So when uterus starts contracting so much, then the fetus, what is there, fully grown fetus, it will be pushed outwards. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಳಗಿರುವ ಮಗು ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಹೊರಗೆ ದೂಡ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ pushing the fetus or baby outside by the contraction of uterus is called fetal ejection reflex. Very important process. fetal, fetus means fully grown baby, fetus, ejection reflex. Okay, fetal ejection reflex. Ejection means pushing out. Ejection ಅಂದರೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ದೂಡು. Reflex means sudden response. So because of too much contraction of uterus by the oxytocin hormone, it pushes the baby outwards through vagina. Then what happens? Baby, head of the baby goes out. Then slowly they will remove. So this is fetal ejection reflex. So because of this fetal ejection reflex only, the parturition happens. That is, baby will be delivered. Then soon after delivery, starting from when pregnancy starts in female, her mammary glands, breast mammary glands starts differentiating, okay, and starts preparing for producing milk. Okay, so soon after delivery, after sometimes within 24 hours, she produces breast milk. Okay, breast milk. That process is called lactation. In the textbook, which hormone is responsible for lactation is not given, but it is prolactin hormone. Okay, prolactin hormone. Lacta means milk. So mother starts producing milk in the breast. So first milk produced will be yellowish in color when mother produces breast milk. Okay, soon after delivery it will be yellowish in color. ಅಂದರೆ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಆದ ನಂತರ ತಾಯಿ ಹಾಲೇನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಸ್ತನ್ಯ, ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕಲರ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ದ ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕಲರ್ ಮಿಲ್ಕ್, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿಲ್ಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಕೊಲೋಸ್ಟ್ರಮ್. And colostrum is very important. Doctors say that first 6 months, okay, at least for 6 months, baby should be given breast milk, because newborn baby will not have ability to resist diseases. ಅಂದರೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ರೋಗ ನಿರೋಧಕ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, it gets that immunity by drinking this milk. The first milk, what is the yellowish milk, colostrum, it has to be given to the baby. Compulsorily mother should give this to baby, because it contains very important antibodies, IgA type of antibodies that you will learn in next chapter, human health and disease. It's not there in the textbook. IgA type of antibodies. Ig means immunoglobulin A type. You have learnt in first year. Antibodies. So colostrum, yellowish milk, has to be given to the baby. Okay, it must be given to the baby. Then baby, by drinking mother's milk, it gets immunity. ಅಂದರೆ ತಾಯಿ ಹಾಲನ್ನು ಕುಡಿಯೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಅದು ರೋಗ ನಿರೋಧಕ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತದೆ ಮಗು. ಓಕೆ, so this is what. So with this, human reproduction chapter finishes, but I have to tell you something about zygote. One thing I have to tell you about zygote. Soon after fertilization, when zygote is produced, after fertilization, chapter finished. Okay, I am discussing something extra which you should know. After fertilization, when zygote is formed, okay, during this stage only it will be decided, that is, whether the baby will be boy or girl. Okay, gender or sex of the baby will be decided. This is sex determination. Based on what? Father's sperm contains 23 chromosomes, and last set of chromosome, we know, sex chromosomes, male will have X and Y, 2 chromosomes. Okay, then female, mother's egg will have 2 chromosomes, that is XX. Okay, this is sperm of father and this is egg of mother. Okay, when sperm meets the egg during fertilization, what happens? Both the chromosomes cannot come, because 23 chromosomes only, half of the chromosomes only can enter the sperm. Father will have 46 chromosomes, you know this. We call it as 23 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, in the 23 pair, last pair is called sex chromosome. Last pair, ಕೊನೆಯ ಜೊತೆ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ 23rd pair. 23 into 2 46 ಇದು 45th and 46th chromosome, 45 ಮತ್ತು 46ನೇ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್. Male will have last sex chromosome X and Y compulsorily. Female will have last 45th and 46th chromosome X and X. Okay, both cannot enter sperm and egg because sperm and egg contains half of chromosomes, 23 chromosomes only. So father can either transfer only X or only Y, not both. ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ವೈ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಎರಡು ಇರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬೇಕಂದರೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಕಂಟೇನ್ಸ್ 23 chromosomes only, not 46. Egg also same. Mother have no choice. Both are X only. Any one X enters. Now, when zygote is produced by fusion of sperm and egg, sex of the baby will be decided. ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಗಂಡಾಗಬೇಕು ಮಗು ಹೆಣ್ಣಾಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಆಗೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, if father sperm contains X chromosome, mother anyway no choice, X chromosome, XX, then it becomes baby girl. ಅಂದರೆ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಗು ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸ್ಪರ್ಮಲ್ಲೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದು ಮದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸೇ ಮತ್ತು ಚಾಯ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ XX ಆದರೆ ಬೇಬಿ ಗರ್ಲ್. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಫಾದರ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಕಂಟೇನ್ಸ್ Y, ಓಕೆ, ಮದರ್ ಎನಿವೇ X ಓನ್ಲಿ, XY ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಬಾಯ್, ಬೇಬಿ ಬಾಯ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಗಂಡು ಮಗು ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್? ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್? ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅಬ್ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್? ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗಿದೆ. Y chromosome, isn't it? Y chromosome is sex determinant chromosome. So female cannot decide the sex there. Female anyway she has both X and X. Male sperm contains X and Y, but in single sperm it can be only X or Y. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ X ಅಥವಾ Y ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಇರಬೇಕು, ಎರಡು ಇರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ sperm contains 23 chromosomes only. Okay, then the sperm which meets the egg during fertilization, ಅಂದರೆ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಎಗ್ಗಿಗೆ ಮೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಲ್ಲ, the sperm during fertilization, which sperm meets the egg, if that sperm contains Y, then it becomes XY, then it is boy, baby boy. The sperm which meets the egg during fertilization contains X, then female also has X, it becomes XX, then it becomes baby girl. Okay, then one student had asked in WhatsApp, she requested that how sir please explain during human reproduction chapter, it is out of syllabus but we want to know how twins are formed. ಅಂದರೆ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ಪಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹುಡುಗಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದು ನನಗೆ, ಸರ್ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅದು ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ಸು, ಆದರೂ ನಮಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಕೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಟ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗಾಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವಳಿ ಜವಳಿ ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅವಳಿಗಳು, ಟ್ವಿನ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದೆರ್ ಆರ್ ಟೂ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟ್ವಿನ್ಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಟ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಎರಡು ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು, ಐದರ್ ಟೂ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್, ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ 1 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ 2, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ರೇರ್ ಕೇಸ್. ಒಂದೇ ಎರಡು ಸ್ಪರ್ಮು ಒಂದೇ ಎಗ್ಗಿಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಆರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ zygote, what is there, zygote only divides into 2 after fertilization. ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಎಗ್ಗಿಗೆ ಮೀಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಝೈಗೋಟೇ ಎರಡು ಭಾಗ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಟೂ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್. ನಂಬರ್ 1, 2 sperms ಎಂಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ 1 egg. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾನ್ಸು ಏನಂದರೆ ಎರಡು ಸ್ಪರ್ಮು ಒಂದೇ ಎಗ್ಗಿಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಝೈಗೋಟೇ ಎರಡು ಭಾಗ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಇಫ್ 2 sperm enter 1 egg is not possible, then there are chances that female rarely she produce 2 eggs. This is egg 1, egg 2. During every month cycle she produces only 1 egg. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ, ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳು ಫೀಮೇಲ್ 1 egg ಮಾತ್ರ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. Sometimes female produces 2 eggs. If female produces 2 eggs, then 2 sperms can join. Okay, this is sperm 1 with egg 1, then second sperm 2 with egg 2, then this becomes 1 zygote and this becomes 1 zygote. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಒಂದು ಎಗ್ ಜೊತೆ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಗ್ ಜೊತೆ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ 2 zygotes ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ zygote 1 and this is zygote 2. Then this becomes one baby and this becomes one baby, but these two are non-identical twins. Non-identical means they don't look similar, ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರಿಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಝೈಗೋಟಿಂದ ಆದವರು. ಬಟ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟು 2, ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಝೈಗೋಟು ಎರಡಾಗಿ ಭಾಗ ಆದರೆ, ಎರಡು ಪೀಸ್ ಆದರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಒನ್ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ 2 ಪೀಸಸ್, ದೆನ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್, ದೇ ಲುಕ್ ಸೇಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ರಾಮ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ, ದೇ ಲುಕ್ ಸೇಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಎರಡು ಭಾಗ ಆದರೆ ಅವರಿಬ್ಬರು ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದೇ ಥರ ಇರ್ತಾರಂತ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಝೈಗೋಟ್. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ನಾನ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಕಲ್ ಟ್ವಿನ್ಸ್. ನಾನ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಥರ ಕಾಣದೇ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಕಲ್ ಟ್ವಿನ್ಸ್. Okay, so with this I have finished human reproduction chapter. Okay, so keep watching my classes. Thank you.